When we first conceived American Revolutions, the United States History Cycle, the dream was for OSF to commission and produce new plays that looked at moments of change in American history. And of course, our inspiration was very much to create plays that were on the scale of and in the spirit of Shakespeare's history cycle. So the fact that Robert Schenkkan not only wanted to write about LBJ, but has written a pair of plays, just like Henry IV Part 1, Henry IV Part 2, you know, that LBJ's story is so large and so important that it demands two plays. OSF, of course, commissioned and premiered All the Way, and The Great Society, the second part of the story, is commissioned by Seattle Repertory Theatre, and we're producing it in partnership with Seattle Rep. It's just one of the great realizations of the American Revolution's dream to have Robert creating this canvas that fills two plays. We just did a workshop this past week of The Great Society. We have 10 actors who were in All the Way, who were also in The Great Society, and then 7 company members who are joining the Schenkkan Works afresh for this production. And, you know, many of the characters are new, but many of the characters recur between the two plays. And it's just so thrilling to be back in the room with Robert, with Tom Bryant, our brilliant dramaturg, and with these actors just digging into this material and making it deeper and stronger and even more moving. Well, I think like with any two-part evening of theater, each play stands on its own. The maximum impact is to have seen both, right? For people who got to see All the Way and then to be able to see The Great Society. But The Great Society absolutely stands on its own. You know, it traces LBJ's second term, his legitimate term, from January of '65, when he's sworn in for his the term in which he was elected, all the way through his decision to not run for office. And there's even a little coda that goes beyond that. And so no, the play stands on its own. There are the physical production, it's reuniting most of the same creative team members, most of the same design team. Christopher Acebo's set will feel very much like the All the Way set, and then we'll do new things and have surprises that are written right into the fabric of the play that Robert has written. All the Way is filled with LBJ's triumphs, right? Getting civil rights bill passed, and then his landslide victory. And we watch him use these very morally problematic techniques of convincing people to do what he wants them to do, but they're for good ends, so we cheer him for the most part. As we get into The Great Society, of course, Vietnam looms larger and larger. And so to watch LBJ use the same tactics for much more disturbing ends, and also LBJ's power begin to wane in terms of his ability to get things accomplished, is very sad. So it really, there's still so much of the life force and the vitality of this man, as embodied in Robert's writing and Jack Willis's extraordinary acting, but it's a more tragic story. With Vietnam playing a larger and larger role, and eventually LBJ's decision to not run for office. He's a true tragic hero, and again, I will say, in a very Shakespearean way, as Robert has created him. One of the great joys of the American Revolution cycle and OSF's new work in general in recent years is how much our productions of these plays and the plays themselves are getting out into the world and being produced by other theaters on the East Coast, the West Coast, and throughout the country. And that is immensely satisfying to know that plays that our audiences are seeing first here in Ashland and being moved by and encouraging us to produce are then going on and becoming part of the canon of new American plays that our colleagues are doing all over the country.